we talk about equality, well, that's a good goal, but let us not presume that because everyone should be treated equal, that they start out on equal footing. So equity as a concept says, recognize that everyone has the same capacity, but in order for them to have equal opportunity to reach that capacity, we must pay attention to this issue of equity if we are to expect and allow people to compete on equal footing.
He's talking about equitable, meaning the result will be everyone ends up being equal.
Equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And if we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account those disparities. President Biden and I have put equity at the center of all that we do.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Bernie Sanders, Bernard Sanders, Socialist Bernie, right, who went on Bill Maher's show and was asked a couple questions and presented with facts that I think stunned Bernie a little bit, okay? It kind of, left Bernie kind of off guard. And I want to talk about it as Bill Maher confronted Bernie on a couple things. One being the conversation around equality versus equity, in which you see at the beginning of this video, Kamala Harris is a big fan of equity, okay, which is equal outcome, okay? Everybody has the same outcome. Everybody ends up in the same place in life. She's a big fan of that, okay? The Democrat Party is a big fan of so-called equity, okay? Everything is about diversity, equity, and inclusion, okay? AKA communism, right? This is what they want, right? This is what they're moving us towards. Now, again, Bernie Sanders was confronted on the difference between the two and which one he supports. He gave a surprising answer, and he was also presented with some facts on student loan debt that I think goes against the Democrat Party narrative about student loan debt forgiveness. Now, I'm going to play both of these clips back to back, and then I'm going to talk about them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the clips. Take a look.
Are we confusing equality of opportunity with trying to guarantee equity in outcomes? Okay, that's interesting, because I think this word equity has come into the language in the last few years, and before that we didn't hear it a lot. And I think a lot of people hear equity and they hear equality, that like it's the same word, and it's not the same word and the same concept. So how would you differentiate between equity and equality?
Well, equality, we talk about, I don't know what the answer to that is. Come to think of it, equality is equality of opportunity. All right? We live in a society, we want all people to have whatever color your skin is.
Equity, I think, is more guarantee of outcome, is it not?
I think so. I think that's
okay. So which side do you come down on?
Equality.
Equality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Boys, any comment on that one?
I just don't know if that's the definitional difference.
And again, this is against why people sometimes, I think, question some of what you're saying. This is a survey, student loan forgiveness recipients. 73% of applicants say they are likely to spend their extra money on non-essential, including vacations, smartphone, drugs, and alcohol. They admitted that to the pollster.
Who is this pollster?
NBC News. 52% they are likely to buy new clothing. 46% they would use the money for vacation and eat out at restaurants. This is why people have a thing about, I would never call it free money. Oh, I guess I just did.
Yeah, so socialists/communists claim that they want equality, but not the equality of opportunity that Bill Maher is talking about there, right? Which, again, I'm not surprised by what Bernie Sanders said, but in the context of what they're talking about, I am kind of surprised, because the definition of equality, according to socialists/communists, is the abolition of class, okay? And they want an equal distribution of wealth and money throughout all of society. This is what they want, okay? That is what they mean by equality. Now, what equity means is basically discrimination against certain races or classes of people so that other people can get ahead. For example, a common use of equity is to discriminate against whites, okay, to advance other races of people, because apparently, according to them, white people have it so much better, right? It doesn't matter if, you were born as a poor white person, okay, in a part of the country where you don't have that much opportunity. You're still white, therefore you have an advantage. Therefore, according to equity, we must take things away from you, okay? You cannot have equal opportunity as the next person because in virtue of being white, you have more opportunity just because you're white, okay? This is what they believe, right? So don't be fooled by the fact that Bernie Sanders said equality, because what he actually means by equality is, again, abolishing class, okay? Making society equal across the board. Everybody is equal. Everybody is the same class, which is not a good thing, okay? Yes, I understand that class conflict is a thing, but it's actually a good thing overall. Capitalism, which does contribute to class conflict, where you have people that are really rich and people that are really poor. It's a good thing because it incentivizes people to innovate and to create inventions because you get rewarded for it, and that is overall good for society. Okay, this is how we get goods and services, more efficiency. This is why we have less people that are hungry today than ever before. We have better standards of living, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It is because we have an unequal society, okay? But what we strive for is equality of opportunity, right? So everybody has opportunity to achieve what they want to achieve. Now, is that possible? No, right? That's not going to be possible because, again, we have a society that is divided by class, and people from the upper class, clearly, because of network, because of resources, are going to have more opportunity than others. But there will be more opportunity created overall because of the way that capitalism incentivizes people to work and to innovate and to create inventions that overall improve the quality of life of others. Okay. Again, with capitalism, you're going to have more overall opportunity to achieve more. And with, socialism / communism, the only opportunity that you're going to get is to basically be equal to everybody else. Okay. Which fundamentally does not increase opportunity overall for society. But again, I think that is what we should work towards, which is equality of opportunity, even though we know we'll never realistically achieve it. However, that's not what the Democrats are doing, right? The Democrats are more focused on equity, okay? They're more focused on, again, trying to racially divide people, right? They're not focused as much on economic class. They're focused more on racial classes, and trying to, again, discriminate against certain people based off their race in favor of others, right? That is what the Democrat Party has embraced. And that, in my opinion, is their way of getting towards socialism, right? They want to move us towards socialism by trying to guarantee outcome among races. Everybody is going to be the same. They're all going to end up in the same place, okay? And, clearly, though, you're going to have the elite, okay? The elite will still be the elite class. But again, everybody else will be in the same place, which is just poor, right? Everybody will be poor, okay? Because remember, under capitalism, you either work or you starve. But under socialism, you work and you starve. Now, in regards to the student loan debt conversation, Bill Maher points out some facts that I think are very clear and kind of goes against the Democrat Party propaganda when it comes to why we should forgive student loan debt. Okay, their argument is that students are struggling. Okay, they're not able to buy houses. Okay, they're not able to invest. They're not able to participate in the economy because they are being saddled with this student loan debt, which, according to that survey, is not true. Because it's not like people are going to take that student loan debt and go and invest and go buy a house or go, start a business or something, right? No. They're actually like, no, we're going to take our student loan debt if it gets forgiven, and we're going to go buy luxury goods, right? We're going to buy more Starbucks. We're going to go on more vacations. We're going to buy more clothes. They're going to spend the money on luxurious goods, things that are not necessities, wants, which again goes against the Democrat argument that this is needed, which again, in my opinion, really blows my mind that during an inflationary period of time, okay, in which, again, we have unprecedented inflation, okay, we haven't seen inflation like this since what, the 1970s, 1980s, okay, you have Democrats trying to push an inflationary policy of giving free money to people who were irresponsible with their student loan debt and what they went to school for in regards to their degree, okay, in order to pay off their student loan debt, giving them money so that they can then take that money and spend more money in the economy, okay, to increase more demand, which again is contributing to inflation. It really blows my mind that this is what they're doing. Okay. And I want you guys to understand the reason why this conversation is happening is because, as you know, Biden has engaged in executive overreach by issuing student loan debt forgiveness for, I think, borrowers that make below $120,000. If you're single, I think it's $240,000 if you're married. Okay, I think he issued $10,000 worth of student loan debt forgiveness. And the Supreme Court is currently evaluating whether or not Biden can actually do that without going through Congress. So again, he's given $10,000 to people who went to school and accumulated debt. Okay, either they didn't graduate or they got a degree. Okay, and he's giving them money for free, right? Giving them money for free. Now, people who actually paid off their student loan debt or decided not to go to college, well, you're screwed, right? You get nothing. Okay, you get nothing. But at the same time, the Democrat Party engages in rhetoric that is classist in nature against people who did not go to college, who say, hey, look, I don't want to go to college. I am going to get a regular job and I'm not going to accumulate all of this debt. Specifically, have you guys ever heard of the uneducated white male? Okay, that demographic that is always talked about in the mainstream liberal media. Okay, how they're always talking down to the white male that does not have a college degree, that they call uneducated, even though there are people with college degrees that are extremely stupid and uneducated on the issues, and there are people who don't have college degrees that are a lot more educated on the issues than people that have college degrees. But they engage in this classist rhetoric against white males who don't have college degrees, okay, and try to say, well, you're not educated enough to participate in conversations. Like, for example, the conversation around, transgenderism and whether or not, we should be allowing kids to surgically castrate themselves, right? They say, hey, you're not educated enough to speak on this topic. Okay, you're not a biologist, you're not this, you're not that. Okay, but at the same time, they want these same people to turn around and to pay for the degrees of these people who are telling us that, hey, we're not qualified to talk about these issues, right? Because we don't have a college degree or that we don't have a certain level of education. Ain't it kind of crazy how that works? You're demonized for not having a college degree, and then you're told that, hey, you have to turn around and pay for the degrees of those people who are telling you that, hey, you can't talk about certain subjects because you don't have a college degree. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And again, Matt Walsh is actually the person that brought up that point. And I thought it was a very fascinating point because it does kind of show some of the hypocrisy of the Democrat Party in regards to their classist rhetoric. Okay. Again, specifically against white males without a college education and their goals of equity, which is, basically they want a classless society where everybody has the same outcome. Okay. Everybody ends up in the same place. Okay. That's what they allegedly want. But again, for whatever reason, they're always demonizing the white male that doesn't have a college degree and basically going as far as to force, people who don't have college degrees to pay for those who do have college degrees because they made a bad decision about where to go to college or what degree to get or what, job or field to go into. It's kind of ridiculous. Again, I think that Bill Maher here highlighting these statistics about what people are going to spend their money on, it goes directly against the Democrat Party argument for why we should do this. Essentially, again, you're paying for people to go on vacations and to buy more Starbucks and to get more luxury items and goods. You're not paying for them to actually invest into the economy, to buy houses, to buy assets, to start businesses, to do things that are productive for society. No, you're actually really paying for them to contribute more to inflation, which is a crisis that is affecting the poorest among us the most. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.